Maleficent, Mistress of Evil just came out to theaters on October 18th, 2019, and it's time for us to tell you what we thought.
So we will give you 3 reasons to see the movie and 1 reason to maybe not see it.
All in a spoiler-free manner, so it's safe to watch. Hey everybody, welcome back to Eye to Eye Disney Through Our Eyes. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Jessica.
And it's time for another movie review. This time we're going to be doing...
Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Not Maleficent 2.
Not Maleficent, the Mistress of Evil.
I tried so many times to throw the 2 in there.
It does seem like it would be the Mistress of Evil, or even Maleficent 2, but it's not.
It's Maleficent Mistress is like a tongue twister.
But... remember, what's his name? The bird thing calls her mistress, so...
That's true.
He doesn't call her the mistress.
Yeah, the raven, I guess.
Yes.
He's not a crow, he's a raven. Still calls her mistress in this. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's where it all ties in. Anyway, besides calling it 2 and adding Tangent City over here, this is a spoiler-free review. So I know a lot of you are not just itching not to know spoilers about Maleficent. We'll just say 2 for just a short thing here, but... I think they're still worthy of us doing these type of reviews just so that you can kind of get an impression if you're wanting to see the film or not, you know?
10-4.
Because 10-4, what is this, the military academy over here?
Well, I'm just like trying to get to the meat of the video.
So, we're going to give you 3 reasons to go see it and one that maybe you probably are like, maybe this is the reason I won't like it. So,
or... maybe I'll just wait till it comes out on Redbox.
Either way, I think you should see it if it's in theaters or in the Redbox or in your Netflixes or your Disney Pluses. All right, our first reason to see the film is...
action-packed.
And by action-packed, you mean?
Here's what I'm talking about. I'm not really a big action person. Mm-hmm. I think I'm not. But then I go into these movies, and then it's the only thing that kept me awake in the second half of this movie. I was tired. I'd been at work all day. This movie was very thrilling. I was shocked. It kind of reminded me of, Avengers Endgame, where there's like this giant scene and there's all these people fighting. You
mean the best movies where they take one force and the other force and run them across the field at each other?
I wasn't expecting it.
It was the best thing ever. That is like my criteria for me enjoying a movie is if you get its 2 sides and just run them at each other. And it happened in this movie.
It did. And that's not a spoiler because it was in the trailer.
Now, I will say... without revealing too much, the forces that run at each other are
a little shocking.
It's a little different than what you are implied in the trailer. However...
but you know that there's a fight scene.
You do.
Based on the trailer.
Well, I mean, you see, this is stuff that's all in the trailer, so we're not spoiling anything here. And you can see the Queen is kind of gearing up for a battle with Maleficent and the people that she's associated with. And so it's kind of like, we know this is coming. So yes, action-packed. So if you're thinking this is going to be, another Princess Fairy Tale.
It was not. This is like, I don't know, it was kind of like G.I. Joes and Barbies.
Mm-hmm. Dude, what? G.I. Joes and Barbies?
You've never, played with G.I. Joes and Barbies and had, a major fight scene?
No, not once did I have Barbies and G.I. Joes fighting each other.
Well, my brother and I did.
What happened in your household? I guess that's what happens when you have a brother and a sister.
Major wars. The Barbies always lost because their shoes came off or something. But anyway.
What is going on?
Anyway, the movie's action-packed.
Okay, so the movie's... I'm still just blown away.
Somebody else out there is going to know what I'm talking about. It's like Toy Story. You know how, the G.I. Joes and...
Anyway, reason number 2 to go see the film tonight, or not tonight, but whenever you want to go see it sometime, is the callbacks, not just to the original Sleeping Beauty story, but obviously since it's a sequel, it's going to have callbacks to what its prequel, its first movie. So that's kind of obvious, and this is not a spoiler in any way, because if you've seen Maleficent, she calls Aurora Beastie and things like that. They maintain the essence of what they built in the first one for the sequel very well. So you kind of felt like it was all very well connected. Mm-hmm. But what I also loved, and I'm not going to say in this review of the movie.
What I also loved, I'm not going to tell you.
Well, because I don't want to, because I think it's great that you need to experience it, because it was a very moment for me in the movie, especially at the end with the fairies. The fairies kind of get a little bit better of a story in this one, and they have a very iconic Disney scene in the movie.
You're right.
So that was and I remember I reached over to you, I was like, it's awesome, it's from the original.
But you know what I'm laughing at more?
What's that?
Is that on our notes you wrote, at the end with fries instead of fairies. So you're autocorrect.
Quick typing over here. But
there were no fries in the movie.
The callbacks in this are great to the original Sleeping Beauty story and the original Maleficent. So I thought that was very well done, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the movie.
Yeah, I agree.
Our final reason is?
So our final reason is, it's like, I don't know how you say it. You say world building, but there's really no way to describe this except that you think that this is going to be a movie just like the first one, where it's at the castle and then the moors.
Yeah.
There were all of these other things that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
So I liked that a lot. And normally I wouldn't. That's normally not my type of movie, but I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed how at the very beginning of the movie, you feel like you're in the Disney ride Soarin'. Because, Maleficent's like flying through and you're seeing it from her point of view as she flies over
it's not even really her perspective. It's just like if you were flying and it gives you a perspective.
Wouldn't it be her perspective?
I mean, I guess it could be, but it wasn't her flying around at the beginning.
It was!
Anyway, you get an idea of not just the original King Stephan's castle, I guess Aurora's castle, she owns it, I guess now, and then the Moors, but you see how far away the new kingdom was, where for Prince Philip is from.
Right.
You can kind of see the surrounding countryside. You get there's an ocean out there, for crying out loud.
Who knew?
I just thought that was a great setup for what you were going to be experiencing in this movie, that you're going to be seeing. This is not just a simple little dome where Sleeping Beauty and Prince Philip and their little friends live. This is actually a world.
It showed us everything that we missed in the first movie.
And it kind of, I'll just throw this out there, I don't really see a lot of room for another sequel, but with a giant world like that, maybe they could explore that.
That's fair, because honestly, after I watched Maleficent, I didn't see room for a sequel. And then after they created the sequel, I was like, duh, of course they would do this.
Yeah, and I think with the world building aspect of this too, they brought the Sleeping Beauty story full circle, I thought, in this one. And we're going to cover that more in our spoiler-filled review, because there's a lot that we don't want to discuss for that here. All right, our one reason to not like the film is a little different. Normally we only like to give one, but I think we disagree on this one here.
So you go first.
No, I want you to go first on that.
Okay, well, like I said, this is just my personal preference, but I'm not a big sci-fi and fantasy person. Yeah. I don't relate to it. I can't get into it. There are very few people like me out in the world. Most people love sci-fi and fantasy.
Well, we're people. I don't know.
Well, I'm just saying, that's a reason for me. If we weren't doing this channel and if Kyle hadn't been so excited to see this movie, I probably never would have gone to see it. And I probably never would have seen Maleficent for the same reasons. Just because I typically like more reality-based things, which unfortunately Disney does not do. But
see, this is the thing. This is like straight up Harry Potter type of fantasy stuff.
This
so
is
like, how do you
completely different.
I can't believe I said that word on this show.
Right. This is completely different. I'm just saying, it was a lot of like weird flying animals and things and fairies and plants that talk and little frogs and toads and like
trees.
Yeah, but those little like toad things that like swim. Yeah. I don't know. It was just a little too much for me.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the plot of the movie so much that I kind of
It didn't distract you from it, right?
Right.
So my reason that I don't necessarily think that someone might not like it, is that I think you have to see Maleficent to see this one.
I disagree.
And she disagrees. That's why I said we're going to do different ones on this one, because I think, if you see this one without seeing Maleficent and much less even seeing Sleeping Beauty, you're going to be like, what the heck is going on here?
I don't think you would be.
I think you could enjoy it. It's a movie. There's action in it. There's, there's a good love story. Like, all that stuff's in there. So it's not saying you can't enjoy it. But I just think it would lose some of its value if you have not seen Maleficent.
I agree. It would lose a lot of its value. But you wouldn't be entirely lost. It wouldn't be like Avengers Endgame, that if you hadn't seen the first, you couldn't see the second.
I would say that you could see Avengers Endgame better and understand more in that one than you could with Maleficent and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
That's why we're here. Disney Eye to Eye through our eyes gives us two different perspectives.
My eyes are correct, though.
Okay.
So those are our 3 reasons to see Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and our reason that you may not like it. So we now want to know from you, have you seen the movie? What did you think about it? Share with us down in the comments below. Spoiler-free thoughts about the movie because we want to share, make sure everybody else gets a chance to see it before we start spoiling it for everybody. So share all that down there in the comments section below and make sure you vote in our poll as well. What else should they do?
If you haven't already, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And you can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And that's all we have for you in this edition of Eye to Eye. But until we assemble again,
may the force be with you.
And we'll see you real soon.
Bye.
On October 17th.
Nope.
Dadgummit, the wrong date. Maleficent,
Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Well, that's not.